Welcome back. We are shifting, of course, as you should be aware, to strictly online format. As such, I have made a few alterations. What you're currently seeing is the course schedule. And if you will scroll down, you'll see that what we were scheduled to do after spring break was continue a discussion of poetry and leading up to your first essay that was due. However, we're not going to be talking about poetry anymore, but your essay date has been altered. Instead of March 27th, which would have been last week, it's now April 1st. That's this Wednesday, but you do have a lapse over through the weekend until Saturday morning, so that if you have questions or issues, you can have those worked out. And you'll notice that we also then are skipping through down here to week 10, because that's basically where we are now. We are going to have lectures recorded 2 days a week. Usually Mondays and Wednesdays I'll record lectures and upload those on those 2 days. And then that way you'll be able to review the information, details that we have for you. We're going to be covering some other details. There was supposed to be an assignment this week, but I've canceled that one. The date on the thesis and outline for your research paper has been changed. Instead of being due April 3rd, which would be coming up on Friday, rather we are changing that to April 9th so that we can have an opportunity to talk a little bit more about the research paper, which I will do so in the next video this week. But you do have chapters 27 and 29 to be reading, as we're going to be talking about those plays. We're going to look at the work by Sophocles, play Oedipus and Antigone, the drama. And so we'll be looking at both of those. And then you'll have some study questions over those, which will be due still April 10th. If we need to change that date, we'll see how that goes. We're going to see if we can go ahead and answer those questions as fully as possible as we're discussing the plays. Then you have 2 plays by Shakespeare to read, and we'll cover those. And that's when you're going to have another writing assignment. So you only have 2 more daily assignments that we're looking at. You do have the second essay, then the third essay over drama will be assigned. You have the research paper coming in, and we have the final exam, which will now be posted online. As well as recorded lectures, what I do plan to do, and one of you have already sent me a question asking if we're going to do that, we'll be conducting Zoom conferences. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Zoom, give me a moment. You simply go to this website, zoom.us, and under plans and pricing, you get to sign up for free. It doesn't cost you anything. You can also do this as on the app. They actually do have an app, so if you want to do so on your phone or other mobile device, you are able to download Zoom to that. I already have Zoom account. You just set up your account, and whenever there is a meeting, I will schedule that. You'll see over here it says schedule a meeting, and I will simply then establish a link, and here's how this goes. I'll schedule a meeting, and I'll simply call it English 1302. Oops, cap lock was on. English 1302 conference and a discussion of the dramas and the online nature of the course. I am going to schedule it for tomorrow. I will schedule it for during our class time, 10 a.m. As you see here, I have a limited of only 40 minutes. So I will set that up for, see if I can get 40 to come up on that one. No, that's all it lets me do. Let's go ahead and put it to 45. See if it'll let me do it. We'll go ahead and call it for 30 minutes. Let's make sure we have the right. Yes, we do. And we'll have a meeting ID that will be generated. a password. I'm not going to require a meeting password. And we'll have those. Now I'm going to ask you to mute yourself. I can do this myself, muting, which you can then unmute if you want to make a comment, but that way, rather than have everybody talking at once and hearing people in the background, if you mute, and I'll probably ask you to do so when we start the meeting, I can do that as it is. And I'm going to click on recording it, enabling the waiting room. You've all seen the idea about muting. You probably have seen the commercial where they're having a Zoom meeting basically, and the one person is eating the pretzels, making all the noise, and they have to ask him to mute his mic. That's why we want to ask you to mute, and then you can always click and unmute and when you want to make a comment. So I'm going to go ahead and click the mute upon entry, and I will save this. I'm going to add that to my Outlook calendar, and then I will send this note to you, the joining URL, and I will come back in and copy the invitation and send this to you. And all I have to do is copy this one, and then I will go in here to this, and I will send a note to you folks. New message. Come on. One of these days it's going to work. And I'll send it to you guys. And so this is how I'll be seeing this. Now, you are not going to be the only ones who will receive this message. I'm also going to have my other two 1302 classes join us. Just makes it a little easier. All the questions need to be. And so what you will do, this link right here is what you will post. It actually should turn into blue. Let's see, it didn't do that. But you will simply copy and paste that into your URL. So you simply mark it, copy it, and then post it up here. And that way you'll be able to join the meeting at the time. So I'm going to send this to you. Hopefully you're going to receive it. And that way we get to have a meeting where you can see me again, which I know will make all of you so happy. But we'll have an opportunity for you to ask questions directly and cover the details that we have at that time. We're going to be trying to make sure that we get all this handled as best we can. It makes it a little difficult, but since we have already been turning in work online, your major work, of course, and some of the daily assignments, this will make it a little easier for you in the transition. You just won't have the opportunity to sit in class and have conversations and discuss the work, but we will have this instead in this way. The plan, of course, is that we will continue working over this. As I said, I'm going to discuss the research paper on the next one. I don't want to cover too much this time. I know that it's trying to get back into gear and get back into the modality of schoolwork can be a little daunting after having a couple of weeks off. But we're going to be working on this. You know that you can always send me an email. You can. I will be in my office. So the office number that's listed is available. I'll be here typically from 9 o'clock in the morning till 3 in the afternoon each day, Monday through Thursday. So I will be here. I am in the office alone, and so the door is shut, so I am maintaining social distancing. Hopefully you are doing so as well. Hopefully you're all feeling well and that you are not having any issues or problems. The major aspect that we want to cover is that in working with the class, we're going to be covering details about drama. One of the major aspects that, as it says in the little course outline, course schedule, is that we're going to talk about the history, and I have that video for you. Much of what we consider Western civilization's drama goes back to the Greeks. It's not that the Greeks were the first one to write dramas, not that they were the only ones to write drama, but the dramas that they did had more of an impact on Western civilization than dramas in other areas. The Greeks focused upon a number of different areas, being the plays that we look at as the classical Greek plays concern tales that everybody already knew. When they came to see the play Oedipus, which was going to be part of a trilogy, the audience already were aware of the details, so they were not going to be surprised by anything. So that, this is a spoiler alert, when it is revealed that Oedipus has killed his own father, that for the past 20 years he has been married to his own mother, unknowingly, and that therefore his children are both his siblings. And one of the interesting details, if you try to draw a family tree, the 4 children are, of course, Oedipus's children. They are also, of course, his half-brothers and sisters. He's also their step-grandfather, because, of course, Jocasta is their mother and grandmother, and so since she's married to Oedipus, therefore he's the step-grandfather to his 4 children. He's also an uncle and an aunt. Relationship is established because it's just an interesting situation. He's an uncle to his own children, he's a grandfather to his own children, he's a father to his own children, and he's a brother to his own children. It just gets very complicated. But that was already going to be known by the audience. They knew this. They were not going to be surprised by anything in that way. Rather, what they see in this play, and which becomes a very important aspect, is what is it that the playwright, what will Sophocles do with this story? That was an old tale. It was not a new story. He did not invent the story. It was a centuries-old story. Exactly how far back it goes is unclear. But it was very familiar. What he does with it is why they come. What is going to be the point? And as you go through the play, we see that Sophocles is challenging a number of issues. When you go through Antigone, we see he is challenging some of the long-held beliefs, the values that the culture has embraced. In the case of Oedipus, for instance, the play opens with the people coming to Oedipus, seeking his help. The priest of Zeus, it says, comes and kneels before him and asks for his help. That aspect raises a question that is very daunting. The Greek civilization is long built on the relationship to the gods. Now, their gods are not perfect. They don't see them as such. But what they do see is that the gods are there, involved with the lives. However, the people come to Oedipus, who has already sent forward the words of the god by sending out someone to ask the Delphic oracle for any sort of guidance. And it always comes back with a cryptic message. But the people are there in front of Oedipus seeking help. The priest of Zeus, whom you would think Oedipus would understand would not be coming to him. Rather, he would be, that priest should be going to Zeus for guidance. But instead he comes to Oedipus and raises the point of exactly what role the gods do have. And if man can determine for himself what needs to be done, if man is going to be able to make the decision for himself, then why do the people need the gods? And that's a very challenging attitude for Greek civilization. Oedipus is blinded not by the hand of a god, he blinds himself. When he learns of his situation, what has happened, that the prophecy has been fulfilled, the punishment that is meted to Oedipus is not done by some spiritual situation. The priest of Zeus does not show up and saying, this is what you have to endure. That's not pronounced. Rather, the penalty is decided strictly by Oedipus. He tells Creon, he places in a position of power, which is part of what we see in Antigone. He tells Creon to banish him. It is an order. It is an imperative. It's not, Creon is now in your hands, what do you want to do about me? It is Oedipus still acting as an authoritative voice, saying, banish me. Oedipus blinds himself. He essentially banishes himself. He pronounces his own judgment. There is no God that shows up. And this raises a very key point then about the situation of the Greek civilization. It raises the point about authority, which for the Greeks, the gods are the ultimate authority. Sophocles challenges the very fabric of his culture, of what they know when he writes this play. With Antigone, he challenges even further the role of men, women. It is a male-dominated society, and yet here's a woman standing up to Creon. And we're going to talk more about that next time as well. But this is some of the details that we see within the plays. This idea of the challenges that are taking place and how those are being presented. And that's what makes these plays still very contemporary. Because we look at our own society and we see a world in which authority is questioned. We have people doing that now. Should we follow the dictates, if we want to call it that, of our government? This requirement to be sheltered in place, this requirement of isolation, self-isolating and social distancing. What is better for society? And this is what we see within these plays. They're offering this for us. We have other challenges as well, and we're going to be looking at, as I said, with Antigone, particularly, we want to talk more about it. But what we're looking at then is this detailing of the world and what we are seeing. We're going to be scheduling the Zoom meetings. I'm going to invite my other two classes, which normally meet Mondays and Wednesdays. I'm going to invite them also to join us on Tuesday, Thursday, so that they can be part of that one rather than setting up a separate Zoom unless something occurs where we can't do that, and then I may have to set up a separate Zoom for them. But we'll try to meet 10 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays with Zoom. And we will set that up for us to be able to look at, to be able to have a chance to talk, to go over some details, and maybe further elaborate on some of the points that I've brought up in this one. Trying to keep these recorded videos a little shorter because I know that time-wise it's a little difficult. Plus, as I've noted for you under the drama unit, as you can see here, you do have a video over Greek drama. You also have some other videos to look at, and those are going to take some time. Now, normally I would show you some clips of these in class. This particular video, which is going to call up anytime soon, we hope. Again, I believe probably everybody's using the internet around here, and so it's moving just a little more slowly. This particular video does go into some of the details. It looks at particularly several of the, I'm going to open this up in a new window here. I get to log in. So what you will do to log in, just with your Cardinal ID and your password, the same thing that you use for accessing your email and accessing Canvas, and then you'll simply log in. I want to make sure I showed you this, and again, bear with us, it takes a little bit of time. And then here comes the video. There you are. And so it will talk about the details here. It's not a lengthy video. It's a little over an hour. It offers a number of different details. As I said, we're going to particularly talk about politics and Antigone here, and we're going to look at that. That will show you some clips from a presentation of it. We're going to talk about ethical decisions and parts of this one, so it really looks very much so at Antigone. The latter part here covers a couple of plays that we really don't look at. We're not looking at Medea, but it gives you some further background and allows you to look at some of the Greek comedies, and we'll be talking about the comedies as well. On the next recorded lecture, I'll talk more about comedies and the difference between tragedy and comedy. It is not that one is really sad and that the other one is funny. The comedies can be funny, but that's not the nature of true comedy. True comedy, as I will discuss next time, is a little different. This is a very good video. It gives you a chance to look at some other details and talks about some of the key aspects that I will be trying to bring up as we talk about the different works. And so it gives you an opportunity here to look at this. And so you'll have this link that you can go to. Again, I'll go back to the module. So you can watch this video. That will also help you with some more background. Typically, I talk more about what the video involves and then show you just a couple of clips of it in class. But this way you can watch this video and already have that without having to watch another video from me discussing the same information that's there. So we're going to be covering these details. We're going to be talking about some of the basics of drama. This will be, I'm going to have to change the date on this one. This time it's going to be changed to the 9th, I believe, is when I have that one set up. And then I'll be changing the date on this one as well. So we're going to get these worked out and go through these details. And we'll get all these assignments taken care of. That is the plan. And we will hopefully get everything taken care of soon and get all this taken done. Again, I've sent you out the invitation for the Zoom meeting. It's very easy to download. As I showed you in the video here, you simply go to Zoom and do so for that one. Hopefully you've received all the information from the school and been checking your emails there. And we will hopefully continue to provide an education of quality for you. That is our goal. We do not want to lessen what you are receiving here from the school, what you signed up for, but we hope that we're going to be able to make sure that this is a good session for you. If you have any questions or details about this, please let me know. And again, this is the video that you can watch, and we will proceed from there. All right, so I'm going to conclude this particular recording. I hope things are not necessarily working out as they need to be. There we go. There's my little button. So we're going to close this off and get this uploaded for you, and I will send you a message, an announcement, and an email that this has been uploaded. Again, Zoom tomorrow, so you get to see your faces, if those of you are able to do so. I'm planning the Zoom meeting during our class time, 10 o'clock, so that we'll be able to do it that way. Again, looking forward to the next several weeks, which we don't have that many left, but we're going to try to cover everything we need to. And I will hopefully see you tomorrow.